Welcome back to the channel. My name is Nick, also known as Scent Nick, and today I have the privilege of reviewing this special fragrance. I have been requested a few times to cover this fragrance, and while it will be challenging, I am very much looking forward to it. Today, we are looking at The Night from Frederic Malle, part of the Desert Gems collection. Now, at this point, I have gone over every other fragrance in the line, except for Dawn. Guys, The Night it's something. Definitely stick around for this review because not only is it stupid expensive, but it also is a legend in the oud community. Stick around, I'll unpack it for you. Folks, as we dive into today's review, if you find yourself resonating with the content at all, please hit that like button. If you have enjoyed the content of this channel in general, make sure you are subscribed and consider joining as a member. Just hit the join button down there and just see what we have to offer. Guys, feel free to drop a comment at any point during this video to spark some conversation. And if you're looking to save a little bit of money on any fragrances or anything like that, check out the description below for any affiliate links. Helps me out if you use them. Guys, let's get back to this review. So The Night is the oud powerhouse of the Desert Gems collection, and it's unashamed. It's also insanely expensive. We're just going to dive right into it. A 50 milliliter bottle retail is currently going for $1,250. That is no joke. A 100 milliliter bottle is going for a whopping $1,990. That is sticker shock. I will be completely real. That's crazy expensive. Did I pay that much for this? Not a chance. It is very hard to find this on discounters. It pops up here and there, but it sells out near instantly. Definitely look in the description below. There's a Facebook group called the Frederic Malle Addicts. Go check that out. You might see it pop up here or there, or the Oud Addicts. Check it out and you might be able to find this. The perfumer for this was Dominique Ropion, and the scent profile is a rose oud fragrance. With that, what we're gonna do here is I'm just going to go ahead and go over all the notes. So the top notes for this fragrance include Turkish rose and saffron. The heart notes are simply oud, and this is important here because they actually advertise this as being 100% natural oud. That is part of the price here. And then the base is simply frankincense and sandalwood. Now, users on like Fragrantica are suggesting amber and incense, but the official ones are frankincense and sandalwood. This is definitely going to be a fragrance that I kind of cover just as a whole because it's, a very simple breakdown, but it's intricate. The opening is very luscious, okay? There's a couple things going on right away. You get the crazy rich, jammy, and just very elegant rose. It's very much there. If you've experienced Portrait of a Lady, it's the same rose. But dominating the whole thing, and unashamedly, you will smell it, and if you are not ready for it, it will knock you on your butt because it's strong, and there's a good chance you're going to dislike it. The oud is incredibly apparent from the get-go, and it is incredibly animalic, and to the untrained nose, it is very fecal. Now, this is insanely high-quality oud we're talking here. I would imagine it's Indian oud. Indian oud is kind of the cream of the crop when it comes to natural ouds. It's the most sought after, it's the most intricate, it's insanely just complex on its own, but it can have a very challenging opening. When I say untrained, if you just smell it and you don't actually pay attention to it, it will smell a bit fecal, a bit barnyardy. But when you actually take time to look at it, to smell it, to let it open up, it's actually not that way at all, but it is pungent. It is sweet in this kind of acrid way. I think that's the right word to use there. It is acidic. There are these things going on. It's funky, it's fermented, it's got fruity tones, all these things kind of going, but it's not fecal. Oud is never fecal. It can't be because it's not feces, but if you're not used to it, it will smell that way. The saffron is there. It's not very apparent. It gives a bit of this leathery spice, but big two notes are the oud and the rose up in the opening. Now, it takes a while for that to subside. You will get, that kind of fecal opening. It will disappear within about half an hour. Be patient with it and do not just put this on paper because it doesn't do it justice. This needs to go on skin. Now, as it, opens up, the woody characters start to pop out and you start to get the more intricacies of the oud, and it continues to shine. You'll start to smell these incensey vibes. That's coming from the frankincense. You get these smooth wood from the sandalwood. It's very lush. It's very pristine. And if I had to guess, they're using a Mysore sandalwood because it just smells divine. And I would hope that they are because Mysore is kind of the cream of the crop with sandalwoods. But this fragrance opens up very, rose heavy, very challenging. As the rose dies away, you get into this more woody, metallic, kind of animalic, and incensey type fragrance. And that's kind of, the point of this. This is a very ritualistic type fragrance. It's, called the night because it's supposed to, represent, the setting of the sun, nighttime over in the Middle East. It's very ritualistic. It's spiritual. It's mystical. The other thing that I imagine is at play here, and I don't know why they don't list it, but I'm pretty sure there is a good dose of, real ambergris in this because you get this bit of marine, salty feeling, and it's very animalic like, real ambergris is. I suspect that's at play. There are some sweet things going on that's very subtle, but, the main stars, the oud, the frankincense, the sandalwood, and then of course in the opening, that rose, which is, you can't deny it. It's there and it's beautiful. All that. Let's get into the questions. Is this one original? Not necessarily, because it's a rose oud, but I will say the caliber to which they have done this is incredible. Is this the best rose oud on the market? That's for you to decide. I will say it's probably my top because you can smell the quality, but the price is prohibitive for a lot of people. Now, the audience for this is unisex. This is literally perfect for a man or a woman. I can't say that it leans either way. Unisex. The age group, this is incredibly mature. I think, if you like oud, you'll appreciate it, but we're gonna say 30 and up. I know people that are younger that really appreciate it. People much younger that really appreciate it, but for the general audience, it's gonna take a more mature palate, we'll say, or someone it's a little bit more mature to appreciate the fragrance. Now, in terms of the seasons for wearing, spring, fall, and winter, really fall and winter. It is very strong. It's very potent. The heat will bring out a lot of the more undesirable qualities, but, to each their own. In terms of the occasions, this to me is a night out fragrance. This is a wear it, leisurely. Wear it whenever you want. This is very elegant. This is a statement maker. I don't know if I personally would use it for a signature scent, but somebody could. I've worn this out doing errands. I've worn this, out when hanging out with friends. Here's the thing. There is interesting feedback on this fragrance. I've had compliments and I've had very odd looks. Whenever people smell on you, you're gonna get one of those too, but I actually have gotten some unsolicited compliments what smells so good around here? And I'll be like, it's smell this. And then they're like, oh my gosh, what is that? It has that effect. It actually is very pleasing, especially in the air. Now back to the questions. The performance is excellent, guys. This is not your typical beast mode. This is not like a projection bomb. This is more so a scent trail bomb. This is something that builds up in the area that you're in, but it's not like using all these aroma chemicals to push. That really helps make it very elegant, kind of pristine and luxurious feeling. Longevity, 18 to 24 hours. No joke. It sticks around. If you get this on clothes, it's not going to come out. When you're using crazy high quality ouds like this, they stick around, so just please be wary of what you get it on. My recommendation, this is a skin only and it will stain your clothes. Now in terms of projection, like I said, this is a room filler over time. It's not a projection bomb. but we're still gonna say that the projection is very strong. And that brings me to sprays. This one I recommend 2, 1 to 2. It's plenty strong and it will help it not be too overbearing. I've done 3 to 4 before, but I feel really comfortable around 2 to 3 personally. So that's what we're gonna say. We'll say 2 to 3 sprays. Bringing me to the rating, guys, this gets a 9.0. This, in my opinion, is a masterpiece. It is a master class on a rose oud style fragrance. It's done, to the, the best. It highlights rose and it highlights oud. It doesn't showcase all these other notes. These are the 2 notes that it's doing, and it does it so well. But yes, the price is incredibly prohibitive, but sometimes you can't deny how good something smells. I would love to know your opinions on the night. Would you drop $2 grand on a 100 milliliter bottle of this? If you've smelled it, tell me your experiences. I would love to hear it. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, join our community by hitting that red subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.